Yeah, it's your boy Crypto Blood. Welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. It is November 16th, 2018, and I gotta give a shout out to my man, Dr. Dawes. He wanted to play Nas, I Can. Man, this is a classic, absolute classic. I'm not a huge Nas full album fan. Like, I can't rock a whole Nas album, but he's definitely got some classic singles. This is one of them. So again, Dr. Dawes, thank you for the song request. What's good, people? Hope you guys are hanging in there. This rough crypto market. We got the drama with the B-Cash, and you know, the market's dropping. So we'll take a look at the markets in a second, but first I do want you to get over to cryptoblood.io and sign up for that algo, the BitMEX algo. You only got today, really the last day, to save 20%. You should have signed up at the beginning of the week, because those that did are up like 80% on their initial investment, 80-90% on their initial investment, depending on what percentage they were trading. Those that were trading at 10% are up like 90% on their initial investment. So kudos to them for signing up and jumping on that before the market dropped, because we went short last week actually, and so when they signed up, I just placed them in the short and they caught just about all of that drop. So again, cryptoblood.io. I'll leave a link in the description of this video so you can get directly to the sign up page and check out the details, guys. Doesn't take much to add to your BitMEX account and leverage up to really accelerate those gains. $2.99 for 3 months. So check it out in the comments below. So today we are going to be talking about the IMF. They are looking to stop the Marshall Islands from adopting cryptocurrencies. Are we surprised? Really, you shouldn't be. I'm definitely not, but I want to surely take a look at this article and look at the details about this. This is only the beginning, people. This is only the beginning of these central banks and international monetary funds looking to really stop Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, the decentralized ones, the truly public cryptocurrencies. They are going to stop, and they're also going to try to create their own and really fool a lot of the people that aren't in the know about what true sound money is. But we'll take a look at that. And then the second article is out of Decrypt Media, and they're talking about decentralized exchanges being endangered. And the scenario that we're actually presented with right now, and that is the SEC coming after those decentralized exchanges. The latest one is EtherDelta, but there has been another one that saw this action by the SEC on EtherDelta and decided to try to clean up their act, and we'll take a look at them. Who's next? We don't know. I'm very curious about Fork Delta, and if those individuals are in the US as well. There may be some issues there as well. So we'll take a look at this Decrypt Media article on Radar Relay. That's the exchange, the decentralized exchange, and it really should. It surely did for me. It made me kind of look at decentralized exchanges in a different light. Like, really, are they decentralized? If they're run by a centralized organization, then there's still there's a failure point there, and so makes me just kind of second guess that whole decentralized exchanges. But first, let's take a look at this market cap. We're currently at $185 billion at the time of recording, slightly up from earlier, and Bitcoin's dominance is at 52%. And if you take a look here, man, look at that drop. That is crazy. The algo actually got in right here. Those who signed up for the automated trading got in somewhere around here. So they caught all of that with me. So this, we're trying to see about a bottom here. A lot of pressure to the upside at the 52 level, 5200. Man, those bulls came in and saved the day. I'm still not convinced that we're done. I think we're ultimately going to go for the 4700 area. So we're going to see another move down, in my opinion. Maybe some sideways action for a day or so, or maybe even 4 or 5 days over the weekend or whatnot. And then I think we'll take one last final capitulation down to 4700. So just be careful if you're looking to bottom feed here. Let's take a look at that first article out of CCN. Why the IMF is trying to stop Marshall Islands from adopting cryptocurrencies. The International Monetary Fund, a global financial organization run by 189 countries, is against the proposal of Marshall Islands to launch a sovereign digital currency by adopting cryptocurrencies. And if you guys probably don't know, I've got new subs now, but earlier this year I did start following the country of Estonia, primarily because of their e-residency program. I was very intrigued by, and they were doing that to really be progressive with blockchain, cryptography and all of that. But they were looking to launch their own token as well, the Estonia coin. And they got blocked, man. They got blocked by Mario Draghi of the ECB. And, you know, because they're still part of the EU, you know, the European Union. So he said, not happening. You just got to use the euro. That was part of the agreement when you signed up to be a part of the EU. So you ain't doing no crypto token. So they got shut down real quick, and it looks like now the IMF is looking to block Marshall Islands as well. We should not be surprised. It says as early as September 10th, the IMF criticized the finalized plans of the Marshall Islands of creating a national cryptocurrency, citing potential money laundering. Oh my gosh, potential money laundering, financial integrity, and macroeconomic risk. IMF says here, in the absence of adequate risk mitigating measures, the issuance of a decentralized digital currency as a second legal tender would not only increase macroeconomic and financial integrity risk, but elevate the risk of losing the last US dollar CBR. According to the IMF, the Marshall Islands is largely dependent on external aids offered by major economies like the US. If the government pursues its proposal to launch a national cryptocurrency, the IMF suggests that many countries could cut financial aid that is currently being offered to the Marshall Islands. And this is, guys, this is what they do. They get you dependent on them, the IMF. They give you really nice looking loans, great terms, and they just reel you in. They reel you in with that printed money, and this is how they get you. They get you dependent on them, and now you're a slave to what they say you should do. It says here, in May, the Marshall Islands initially disclosed its plans to eliminate its dependence on the US dollar and switch to a national cryptocurrency. At the time, David Paul, Minister in Assistance to the President of the Marshall Islands, said that as a nation, the Marshall Islands have the right and authority to launch a national currency regardless of the form of the currency. He says here, as a country, we reserve the right to issue a currency in whatever form it is, whether it is digital or fiat form. The IMF has publicly expressed concerns regarding the national cryptocurrency of the Marshall Islands, as it fears that the currency will be manipulated by Wait a minute, man. I don't even want to read the rest of this. This is insane. Manipulated by criminals, crime syndicates, and businesses running fraudulent operations. Sounds like the US dollar, right? However, as demonstrated by several studies, including economist Richard Wright's Less Cash, Less Crime evidence from the Electronic Benefit Transfer Program, physical forms of money like cash are significantly overutilized by criminals than electronic alternatives, because by nature cash is anonymous. It has been so long recognized that cash plays a critical role in fueling street crimes due to its liquidity and transactional anonymity. In poor neighborhoods where street offenses are concentrated, a significant source of circulating cash stems from public assistance of welfare payments, the study read. As such, the basis of the claim of the IMF that the creation of a national cryptocurrency by the Marshall Islands should be prevented due to the possibility of money laundering can be questioned, given that the effect of cash on enabling criminal activities is well documented. Plan may be working. The threat to cut financial aid to the Marshall Islands is working. Earlier this week, Dr. Hilda, president of the Marshall Islands, face political attacks due to the proposal of the government to pursue the development of a national cryptocurrency. Political pressure could force the administration to lay off the plans to launch a digital asset, at least temporarily. 8 senators in the Marshall Islands have already submitted a motion of no confidence because they were paid off, fiercely opposing the initiative set forth by President. There you have it. And I told you guys, petrodollar in Venezuela, though it's definitely a corrupt government, Maduro is really screwing up things over there. They are the prelude to what is to come with this whole sovereign cryptocurrency that a lot of these smaller countries will start to do. Now, I think the first one to really do it will be one that is not a part of the IMF, because they are not dependent solely on the financial aid that comes from the IMF. So again, you're going to see countries like Iran. I don't think Iran is a part of the IMF, but Venezuela. You're going to see some small countries that are already kind of on the outs. They're going to go ahead and do it. And once they open the floodgate and the rest of the world sees the benefits of starting their own sovereign cryptocurrency, it's going to just be a snowball effect. I'm telling you. You guys let me know your thoughts though on this. I don't even have to ask you what about the IMF and what they say about the cryptocurrencies. We are all well aware of the shadiness of the IMF, but more so, I guess I pose the question, you know, is this the precursor to many more countries doing this, or either at least stepping out there testing it? You guys let me know your thoughts on that. The second article is out of Decrypt Media. I'm starting to really like this site. They do really nice article write-ups on cryptocurrency where they really make you think about the topics that they write about. It says here, endangered decentralized exchanges. The SEC has shown it will come after defiant DEXs. So what will it take to keep U.S. regulators at bay? Radar Relay is taking some extraordinary measures. It says here, as if hash wars and plummeting prices weren't enough, recent SEC enforcement actions are forcing companies to course correct as they navigate through the crypto's choppy regulatory waters. What regulation? There is none. It's so vague, it doesn't make any sense. It says on Tuesday, just days after the SEC slapped EtherDelta's founder with nearly 400 grand in fines for operating an unregistered national securities exchange, Radar Relay, another decentralized exchange and direct competitor to EtherDelta, announced that the time had come to update its regulatory strategy. Aside from continuing its meticulous token compliance process, quote unquote, that aims to steer clear of listing securities, Relay says it plans to begin implementing U.S. Office of Foreign Asset Control compliance measures, hardcore standards used to ensure that companies eschew terrorists, narcos, and other bad actors. Right, that's what they always say. The OFAC and Bank Secretary Act. Bayern applauded Radar Relay for unilaterally undertaking the changes, but says that it will be hard for any system to strike a balance between calling itself decentralized while maintaining the necessary degree of control to fully enforce a compliance program. However, for instance, will Relay maintain the characteristics of a passive online bulletin board, as its statement claims, while also identifying each of its users and tracking their activity to the extent of OFAC requirements? In its announcement this week, Relay says a lot has changed in the last year since it declared that it planned to remain compliant to the U.S. regulators. While it didn't cite last week's EtherDelta statement, the timing of the announcement appears to be more than coincidental. 0x, the team behind the protocol that powers Radar Relay and other decentralized exchanges, released its own confusing statement distancing itself from the individual companies that use its code. 0x suggested that EtherDelta case means that each DEX must continue reviewing current security laws and conduct a good faith analysis of each token it lists to ensure compliance. Radar Relay, as if in response, says in the statement that its own full-time director of token analysts handles this task. Good luck with that. While the SEC has been busily rousting all manners of transgressors in the crypto world, what exactly qualifies a transgression continues to mystify many in the industry. For instance, can anyone be sure that an Ethereum-based token being traded isn't an unregistered security? I say they can't. I really say they really can't. Generally speaking, Byron says a good indication that a token isn't a security for the purposes of federal law would be the existence of a non-action letter issued by the SEC in relation to the underlying token offering. Even that determination is subject to what a court might say on the subject. Man, this is crazy, guys. Article goes on to say it's no wonder an aspiring blockchain entrepreneurs might be tempted to take their ventures overseas, but even that is a dubious approach, says Byron. The U.S. is known to exercise extraterritorial jurisdiction, and startups should be prepared to deal with the U.S. dimension, even if they are not planning to participate within it. Wow, so there you have it. I told you guys, man, we've got to make a decision. You know, I think I made this analogy before. Cryptos and compliance and the SEC inherently are like, it's like water and oil. It really does not mix. Once you start trying to mix the two, it really doesn't have the ethos of cryptocurrencies and the whole concept of decentralization and no one person having power over the network or protocol. So at some point, I think because we're early in the game, we've got some time, but at some point I just feel like there's going to be a line drawn in the sand. The people that are really about cryptos, that are really about decentralization, are going to be taking their side and just move on and really overtake what the SEC and these legacy systems are trying to do. But you guys let me know your thoughts on that. I definitely want to know, what do you think the future of DEXs are going to be, with the SEC coming after all of them, coming after everything? They have the unmitigated goal to come after tokens and exchanges and stuff without any clear, like if we had clear guidance, maybe those that want to, you know, operate within the US could have very clear framework and guidance on doing that. Now they did say, I reported on this, that the SEC is going to come out with some plain English guidance for people. So we'll see if that also pertains to exchanges, not just tokens. But that's pretty much it, people. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, click that bell, share this video, all that good stuff. Give a shout out to my man Dr. Doss for this song request again. I know I can be what I want to be. It's your boy Crypto Blood. I'm out. Ha!